He said it like a punchline. A glass raised, a grin too wide. I'm flipping the family beach house. Easy profit. I smiled back, small, polite, controlled. Outside, a contractor waited in a truck with the engine idling, hands shaking on the steering wheel, jaw locked around 3 unpaid invoices and a voicemail he'd never forget. Inside, my brother-in-law celebrated a victory that wasn't his. That was the moment. That was when the end began. Far before all of this, my life was quiet, earned, measured. I believed in paperwork and patience. In trust built slowly, like foundations poured right the first time. The beach house had been my wife's childhood. Salt-stained windows, bent nails, summers that smelled like sunscreen and grilled corn. When her parents passed, grief moved faster than probate. Everyone wanted something. I wanted stability. So I bought it, quietly. Legally. Years ago, an LLC, a clean deed. Recorded. Filed. Forgotten by everyone except me. I never bragged. Never corrected assumptions. Let the family call it ours. Let him call it his someday. I learned early. People reveal themselves when they think they're winning. The red flags came dressed as jokes. Comments about renovations he hadn't funded. Photos on his phone of granite countertops that didn't exist yet. A contractor's name mentioned wrong. Then mentioned again. I listened. I always listen. He talked about timelines that didn't match permits, about profits that required miracles, about selling before summer without closing inspections. I felt the old pressure behind my eyes. The one that comes when something crook tries to pass as straight. My wife squeezed my hand under the table once. I squeezed back. We said nothing. Silence is not absence, it's staging. The betrayal didn't arrive loudly. It arrived precise, an email forwarded to me by accident or arrogance. Subject line: quick flip projections. Confidential. He had leveraged the house as collateral, my house, forged signatures, inflated values. A private lender hungry for blood if anything went wrong. I didn't feel anger first. I felt cold. Time slowed. Sound flattened. I saw the whole board at once. He wasn't flipping a house. He was flipping a family. That's when the hurt sharpened into something useful. I didn't confront him. I didn't rage. I didn't warn. I prepared. I pulled the deed. I pulled the lien search. I pulled every permit request he'd filed and every corner he'd cut. I found the contractor. The real one. The man with the truck outside and a folder thick with broken promises. He hadn't been paid. He'd been blamed, threatened with delays he didn't cause. I listened to him too. I documented everything. Screenshots, voicemails, timestamped texts where my brother-in-law promised wire transfers that never came. I let the lender dig their own hole. I let my brother-in-law keep talking. People always do. The showdown wasn't a scream. It was a table. Same smiles. Different gravity. He raised his glass again. Closing next week, he said. We'll all celebrate. I stood. Not abruptly. Deliberately. I placed a manila folder on the table. Then another. Then my phone face up playing a voicemail on speaker. The contractor's voice filled the room. Steady. Tired. Furious. I watched my brother-in-law's face change color in stages. Confidence. Confusion. Calculation. Fear. I spoke softly. I own the house, I said. Not loud. Not proud. Just factual. I slid the deed toward him. I slid the LLC paperwork. I slid the notice of fraud I'd already filed that morning. He laughed once. A sharp, broken sound. I can, I said. And I did. Years ago. The contractor walked in then, right on cue, unpaid invoices in hand. Eyes locked on the man who'd lied to him. Outside, the lender's car pulled up. Timing is a craft. The room collapsed inward. He tried to speak. Words tripped over each other. Excuses clawed at the air. I didn't interrupt. I let the weight do the work. The lender asked questions. The contractor answered them. I provided documents. Power doesn't announce itself. It arranges the room so others do the talking. By the end, his flip was ashes. The loan called. The permits revoked. The family staring at him like a stranger who'd worn a familiar face too long. He looked at me last, betrayal in his eyes. As if I'd done this to him. I met his gaze and felt nothing. 2. After, the house stood exactly as it always had, weathered, solid. Mine. The contractor got paid plus interest. The lender walked away clean. The family learned the cost of assumptions. My brother-in-law left town. Quietly. Funny how silence sounds different when it's earned. I sat on the porch that night, listening to the ocean argue with the shore. Justice doesn't roar. It recedes, steady and inevitable. He bragged about an easy profit. I smiled because I already knew the ending. Some people flip houses, others flip the script. And I've always preferred owning the ground beneath my feet.